morning. From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day Atlanta.
How much of a role does social media play when it comes to finding a job? Well, up next, executive coach and author Elizabeth Pearson will join us with 3 ways to curate your presence online. Well, love it or hate it, in most cases, your social media presence is intertwined with your professional career. But most of us were never taught how to use these channels to highlight our best professional features. Executive coach and author Elizabeth Pearson joins us now with how to make your social media accounts work for you. So important. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, we can talk about how scrolling can turn into money.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that would be the goal for sure. So let's start with this. I mean, this is one of those things, and I've heard people say it, and I'm sure everyone has heard somebody say it and maybe think it. It's not a good idea to just try to avoid social media as a way to not have to deal with it, right?
Yeah, you have to be on social media, and that's what I recommend is Instagram and LinkedIn. Definitely at least those two. And everybody usually has an Instagram account, but that might be one that you want to make private. If that has like some bikini shots or some alcohol pictures, don't make that one public. But you do want to have a curated professional Instagram because about 85% of employers, hiring managers and recruiters are trying to vet candidates using social media. So if you think you're being sneaky with being just totally off it, you're not, because they might be thinking that you're trying to hide something.
That's interesting. And I've been with a group of friends before, and it's like you're looking for someone, and if they don't have a social media, it kind of does send up a red flag. Like, why are they nowhere at all online?
Exactly.
So, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. Are they trying to hide something?
Yeah. What are they trying to hide? Okay, so I want to go back to what you said about curating your social media profiles to make them employer friendly. So what are some things, Elizabeth, that we should not be including? You mentioned bikini pics. That's something that you might want to, think twice about. What else?
And especially with summer, it's tempting to put up all those fun party pics, but it's really not a good idea. I always suggest to clients that they do things that show the wellness side of them. So maybe if you're out on a hike with your dog, post that. If you're eating a really healthy lunch, post that. Like, it doesn't have to be all just work things and corporate events, but definitely if you are traveling for work, you could put a great picture of you at the airport, just talking about how much you love your job and you love your employer, because the thing that's going to make you most attractive to somebody else, another employer, is that you really love your job and you love your industry. So social media can be a great place to kind of gush about those two things, your current employer and the industry and the role that you're currently in. So leave some of the party pics off in your private profile and make this one public, and just do anything that says, I'm happy and I love wellness. Anything that falls into that category is going to be really attractive to a recruiter.
I have to remember that I'm happy and I love wellness and I love my job. Those are the things that we need to be posting on social media. And it's easy to remember. We got that.
Right.
We can do that. Okay, so number 3, prioritize LinkedIn. And if you're anything like me at home, I don't even remember my LinkedIn password. I couldn't tell you, like, it's completely forgotten. But you're saying this is something that you need to know what's going on LinkedIn, right?
You absolutely do, because 87% of recruiters use LinkedIn. So a lot of people think that they don't have a web page. You do, and it's LinkedIn. And if you've been ignoring it, you're leaving money on the table, because when you ignore it until the point where you want to go and maybe you lost your job or you're thinking you want to get a new one, you have fallen so low in the algorithm that your SEO is going to be low, and recruiters won't see you as like the top of the candidate pool. So you really need to give some love to LinkedIn and do it consistently, because that's going to help your SEO. And then when it does come time to really get that new networking contact or be a job seeker, you're already ranking nice and high. And it is the one social media platform that can be directly related to how much money you make. So especially ladies, I know we just kind of put the profile up there and then we ignore it unless we're like looking for a job, but don't do that. Post on there. It really solidifies your place as a subject matter expert in your industry. So post on it. I always tell people to, don't just go and like somebody else's post, make sure you comment so that then people will see you in that person's feed and your picture and your byline.
Okay, so that's a good tangible thing that we can do then, to comment on other people's things. But for those not really familiar and who haven't used LinkedIn very much, I mean, what are some things that we can do to be active and to have a presence, some easy things we can do?
Well, if you want a gold star, write an article for LinkedIn. I think everybody gets a little imposter syndrome and they think, I couldn't write an article, but you can, and you can self-publish one on LinkedIn. And guess what the algorithm loves? People who post original content for LinkedIn on LinkedIn. So write a small, like, it could be like a little think piece. It could be like a mini blog. If you've ever thought about, writing for yourself or your website, do that on LinkedIn. And if you can't think of anything, I always say, find an article that you love, copy and paste the hyperlink into a post. Once you press enter, it will populate with a picture and a link for that article. And then you can go and just delete the URL in your actual comments or your actual contacts part, and then write a few sentences, just like you would an Instagram caption. It's really not that different, but it really makes a huge difference when it comes time to job seek or look to get a promotion.
Interesting.
And the other thing too is, like, your company is looking at your LinkedIn. So even if you don't want to leave your organization, you're perfectly happy, like I'm sure you are a representation of your company. So it really should look as polished as possible.
I'm fascinated. I mean, I'd never thought to use it in that way, but Elizabeth, it makes so much sense. Now, if someone is feeling a little bit stuck, a little bit overwhelmed by this information, you actually have a book on how to get unstuck. Tell us quickly about that.
Yeah, my book is called Career Confinement: How to Break Free, Find Your Guides, and Seize the Fire of Inspired Work. That's it there. And each chapter goes through a professional step that you can do and also a spiritual step. So this book is about really living in soul alignment with your career. Everybody wants to make an impact and find purpose. And this book is really a way to kind of marry both super tactical things like what we just talked through with LinkedIn, and then also, tapping into your spiritual board of advisors, right? Get that ancestral help to move you along.
Helping us get it done. Elizabeth Pearson, thank you so much for checking in with us today. We sure do appreciate it. Very, very helpful.
Thank you so much.
And you can pick up Elizabeth's book, Career Confinement, now. We'll be right back.